You're listening to KLBP 99.1. This is Tea Time with Cinnamon. I'm your host, Cinnamon, coming to you live from beautiful, lovely downtown Long Beach. We are doing it and doing it well today. Let's go. Queer love, queer joy always. Download that app and have a great day. Let's go.
When I was very young, nothing really mattered to me but making myself happy. I was the only one. Now that I am grown, everything's changed. I'll never be the same because of you. Nothing really matters. Love is all we need. Everything I give you all comes back to me. Looking at my life, it's very clear to me. I lived so selfishly. I was the only one. I realized that nobody wins. Something is ending and something begins. Nothing really matters. Love is all we need. Everything I give you all comes back to you. Nothing really matters. Love is all we need. Everything I give you all comes back to me.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Cinnamon. I'm your host, Cinnamon. You're listening to KLBP 99.1, coming to you live from beautiful, lovely downtown Long Beach. Yes. Anyway, nothing really matters. Love is all we need, right? She said it first. This is the queen. Everything I give you all comes back to me. Exactly, right? I hope you're having a lovely day. Probably getting ready for Super Bowl. I don't know. We're queer. We're gay. I don't know. But some
I'm all
people
about
do.
the
Some
food.
people don't. I don't know. Yes, all about the food. So today I have such a lovely guest. I met my guest at a book fair, book festival, which was amazing. And I'll just let him tell you. So my guest today is Christian Ramirez. Hi,
Hello.
Christian.
How you doing? Hi,
I'm
everyone.
good. How are
I'm
you?
doing great.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So the first number one question, Madonna or Lady Gaga?
Madonna, I was actually vibing out to the song right now.
Okay.
I was like, we were both swaying back and forth. I'm like, yeah.
I know, right? I'd like to play a good intro song to get us pumped up,
If there was no Madonna, there would be no Lady Gaga, right?
Oh,
Right?
okay.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. This is my guest.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming,
Oh,
Christian.
thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I love all your work. I mean, I've been this is the third book, right? That
Yes.
I've already been
Correct.
that I've been reading. But you, first of all, what is your pronouns?
He's him.
Okay.
He and him.
Great. And what do you identify in this lovely LGBTQIA
I'm
umbrella?
gay. I'm a gay man.
Gay man. We
Yeah.
love it. See?
Classic. Like classic Coke.
There you go. We love it. All right. So, Christian Ramirez, you also have an alias. You go by a different name.
Correct. And my pen name is Krista Salvo for the Late Hour series,
Mhm.
Stories from the Insomniac.
Okay.
And the reason I did that is because I'm also a filmmaker, and
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to detach the filmmaking to the literary narrative. So one's for the book, Krista Salvo, and the other one's Christian Ramirez for the filmmaking aspect of my career.
I love it. See, we have so much to talk about. Okay, so I did get your book
Oh, awesome.
in the mail, which was a lovely surprise. I always love getting little gifts in the mail. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I can't wait to read it.
I'm so glad that you got it. Oh my,
Yeah.
and I'm nervous that you read it. Oh my, you stay, with the authors, like you're scared of not finishing it, but then you're
Yes.
scared of people reading it.
I know, you're like, oh my gosh, what do they think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, hey, don't worry about what I think. Worry about what you think. That's why we do it, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that's our passion. So tell us about, okay, you are already doing 3 of these. They're all an anthology kind of thing, right?
Yes.
It's all like a little collection.
Yeah, they're urban stories to keep you entertained in the middle of the night. For somebody who suffers from insomnia,
Yeah.
I'm like, what can I write about? Because I was reading a book, short story books by Stephen King. I'm like, this sounds like so much fun. I should do something like this. That's, I never written a novel before, so maybe like starting writing short stories would be easier. And that was incorrect. It was really hard because like not the story aspects. Because like at first I was thinking, it's like, what am I going to write about? It's like, well, I grew up in Norwalk. I'd been there for over 30 years, and living in any neighborhood, you hear stories like
Right.
it's like stories about the neighborhood, gangs, police situations, and like, you know what? I'm gonna write stories about my neighborhood, Norwalk, and these are either I pepper in like little Easter eggs of the city in there,
Okay.
such as the old school bar Bobo's and the
Yeah.
one ways.
I noticed that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so I just was like, you know what, I'll do that, and I've been doing that since 10 years, and it took me 7 years to finish Part 3, Volume 3, Confessions, which is the standalone novel, the centerpiece
Wow.
of the anthology series.
Wow.
And I also, since these stories take place at night, I needed stories that's like, well, what would happen in the middle of the night? Well, I think in the first volume, my main character goes for a late night walk. He gets laid off, and it's the middle of the summer, and he reminisces of his old times in high school. And then when he goes back home, he meets these guys smoking and drinking weed, and drinking beer in their car, and he starts hanging around with them like high school buddies. But they unfortunately that night he gets taken to the wrong side of town, and things happen.
A
So
lot
it's,
of adventures happen.
Yeah, it's like almost stories ripped out of the headlines.
Yes.
And I also needed a story. There was also a horror story in Volume 1 because you had to have a spooky story.
Yes.
And for Part 3, it's like, well, people in the middle of the night, they hook up, and I wanted to write about 2 down low people who are hooking up in the middle of the night. It's like, well, okay, that's a great premise. What's the story about?
Yeah.
And it took me such a long time to figure out how to tell that story.
Uh-huh.
But what I ended up coming up with, it's a story about a man who's living his life on the down low, and he gets caught one night for having an affair, and he writes his whole life story one night, confronting his past. So it goes back, it's kind of like Stand By Me and Wonder Years, because we go back to his years in high school, because he grew up in this evangelical household, so he wasn't even allowed to celebrate his own birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he meets his friends in high school that introduce him to pop culture, music, and they introduce him to all this stuff that he missed out living in such a religious, staunch household. And so the reason I came up with that is because when I was younger, I did a few guys that they grew up that way. It's like I grew up a Mormon. I wasn't allowed to celebrate my birthday, and I just felt like that was wild. I was like, you couldn't celebrate, you couldn't get a piece of
Isn't
cake,
that great?
you know? I'm like, so when I created this character, Ray Chavez, he's my main character. I gave him the complete opposite of my life, and he's a writer. So everything that was basically what I say is just the opposite of my life, and that was I just went through that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what we do as writers is just, take you on journeys and take, kind of heal ourselves as well. That's the number one thing is healing through writing. And it's like, you can be anything you want to be, I love that you have an alias too, because it's like, no, that wasn't me. That was
that was Christophe.
That was Christophe.
Yeah.
Who knows that dude? Like,
Guy's a creep.
I know, right? No, but I love right away the title just draws you in because it's like late hour stories for the insomniac. I mean, how many artists, or not even artists, just average people are, stay up late with anxiety and insomnia. I mean, who? Everybody probably nowadays. You know, so. I don't know about you, but I have a tablet by my bed, meaning pen and paper by my bed. And it is like, I get up and I write. And if I don't have that tablet there, I have my phone and I text to myself. Do you also do the same?
No, I don't, because
Or
I
wait,
can't
you don't sleep.
I can't sleep. Exactly, that's where I was going at. I don't sleep because I have all these racing thoughts in my
Uh-huh.
head. Because I do suffer from anxiety, and I do think about. I do say to myself the what ifs. And
Yes.
the what ifs keep you up late at night,
Mhm.
and I run those scenarios all the time.
Yeah.
And I try not to, but my boyfriend's like, just close your eyes and go to sleep. I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. But
I know.
I can't do it. But when I can't go to sleep, I usually hit my computer, start writing, or just listen to music, or listen to Coast to Coast AM,
Okay.
which is I'm drawing back to my anthology series. The anthology series starts with The Other Realm, which is a radio show that talks about the paranormal, the dark, the strange, and that radio show is in each short story of the whole universe, tying the whole universe together. And that was inspired by Coast to Coast AM, hosted by George Norrie, a radio show. It's the same theme, the same vibe. And I wanted to implement that radio show into into the late hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
'cause I
was
thought that was
going to
neat.
talk to you about
Yeah.
that because it's like, I mean, on the cover right here, the person on the cover has headphones
Mhm.
and is obviously, like at a computer and doing all this stuff. So, and you talk about a radio show.
Mhm.
Have you done a radio show?
I haven't. I mean, I've done podcasts before,
Yeah.
and but I never been on the radio. And
Okay.
actually, this is my first time being on a podcast show.
Yay.
Yeah, awesome. Yay.
Yay. I broke him in.
That's right.
No, but that's awesome. So here you are. I mean, you can come back anytime.
Thank you.
You know
Appreciate
what I
it.
mean? Yeah. I do. You can even be a co-host. you
That'll
know?
be great. Or can I film some stuff here?
You
Or is that-
can.
yeah. Oh,
You-
awesome.
you
I'm
can
already
do-
getting ideas.
I know, right? I know. I love people with ideas that just go and run,
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh my God, that's my passion right there. Speaking of passion, though, this is obviously a passion, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when did you begin like writing?
Well, I started writing in high school.
Okay.
And I actually got into screenwriting early on because
Mm-hmm.
I was a fan of Titanic, and I saw, remember back in '98,
Yeah.
there was a bunch of stuff about Titanic, how the movie was made, about James Cameron, and then one night, this was the time where Kiss FM ran the hottest soundtracks on Sunday night. They counted down, of course. My Heart Will Go
Mm-hmm. Yes.
On was number one forever.
Yeah, I know that.
And,
Casey Kasem.
They gave you like little blurbs of
Mm-hmm.
information of the filmmakers, and then they gave a little blurb on James Cameron, like he never went to film school. He was a truck driver, and he went to the library to study screenwriting and film. Like, dude, my dad's a truck driver. I'm not in the industry. I'm like, and I heard this when I was in the 8th grade, and this is the time when I couldn't drive, obviously. And I asked my mom, take me to the library. I'm going to check out some books on screenwriting, and that's all happened. I started checking out some
Wow,
books
really?
on screenwriting. I started
Yeah.
writing. I didn't have a computer back then, so I wrote some dopey Seinfeld-inspired scripts,
Yeah.
handwritten.
I love
and,
it.
and it just started from there and just started developing more and more screenwriting. I went to film school
Oh,
about
nice.
over 20 years ago at the
Mhm.
LA Film School.
Love it.
And I produced this I directed a movie called Eric, the short film. And that was a
Okay.
screenplay. I was trying to make the movie, I was trying to make the feature, and it was like a short film that was like the flavor for the movie.
Mhm.
And I almost got it made. I had somebody interested in making the movie, and when the guy called me, I was hired at this place, and I answered it, and it's like, hey, I found somebody who wants to make your movie. I'm like, oh my God, I just really started working here. I'm gonna quit my job. What a dream, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But as soon as I stood up and just, started freaking out, I was like, however, oh my, what do you mean, however? It's like the characters are too young. They want you to make them at least 30 years old. I'm like, but that's not my story. My story takes place in high school.
Yes.
Confronting your sexuality, and like in the background where it's not okay to be gay during like the 90s. It's not as what it is today, but back then it was like you couldn't be. That was so taboo. You know what I mean? It's off
Yeah.
the table. You don't talk about it. You just wink. And so when he said that, it's like I'm like I was in my 20s, and it's like I can't compromise my integrity right now, because that's gonna snowball to everything that I'm gonna say. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, and then
then it's a whole different story.
exactly, and then I would have a career, but I wouldn't love the stuff that I would direct, and that's
I love it.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I'm like, because of that, I still haven't making the feature film has always eluded me. That was my white whale. But I've been directing short films, and
Oh.
last year I won a Best Suspense
Oh,
film
hey.
for Answers at
Okay.
the Old Town Film Festival.
Love
And
it.
yeah, it was awesome. It was my first festival win for
Uh-huh.
directing Answers, and my friend We produced it last year as a test to see how we can make the movie with bare bones. And my friend Byron, he gave me the plays. I always wanted to do this as a play, but nobody wanted to do this, make it into a short film. So he financed it. He found the people, and my only job for the project was to direct. So I was all
lovely.
like, I was doing everything as in like conceptualizing the like how the feel of it, the vibe, the color, and just working with the actors. So wasn't concentrate. I wasn't my mind wasn't. I was like the logistics. How are we gonna get there? What's for dinner? You know what I mean. My mind was just focused on directing, and it shows. Like the movie,
love it.
It looks great. Like eventually, it's gonna be released on YouTube. Right now, we're doing the film circuits.
Okay.
So next week we're gonna find out if we got into these 2 film festivals. But if we don't, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's all about trying. But it's like when you make a movie, it's so intense for like, weeks and then nothing, and then
Right.
Because you're
Yeah,
editing,
yeah.
because it's so much more goes into the post production.
So much. So much.
And then the waiting afterwards.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can send it to film festivals, and like it's not until like a year later.
Uh-huh.
So that's where we're at right now. So
Do
the
you ever go
fruits-
back and you're like, oh God, I don't know if I like that part.
Oh,
but you can't,
100%.
like, change it. Yeah.
100%. Even in my writing, not saying that my
Yeah,
writing is
I
bad.
know.
I'm like, because I pick up my books, like, I should have written that.
Right,
Different. I
right,
should have
uh-huh.
switched those
Or
words
added
around.
this or that, or
exactly.
take that
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
or-
Or add a little bit
Uh-huh.
more. It's just like,
Yeah.
but you know what? I don't know who said this, but when you create something, that's who you were. And then you move on, and then the next stuff, that's who you became from the stuff that
I
you've written
love
before.
it. And you let it go.
Yeah,
Like,
you let it go.
Yeah, I heard that. You write and you let it go, and that's kind of
It's
what
hard.
I really like to do. I know it is hard, but it's harder to look back and say, I don't know if I like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's never really done.
Exactly.
Nothing is ever really done.
I don't know
you
who said
artists.
this. I don't know who said this. It's probably like a famous philosopher. I don't know, but it said like, art is never finished. It
Yeah.
is just abandoned.
Yeah.
Oh my, wow, that's a pretty good
I
quote.
like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that. That's true. The other quote I like is, if you fall in love with an artist, you never die.
Yeah,
I love that too.
yeah, it's
Yes.
true. That's
Yeah, or
then-
an artist falls in love with you. You'll never
Never
die.
die.
That's
Yeah,
how it goes.
that's
Yes.
dope.
I know, right? It's so true. My God. Like, being a writer is so, like, you're so passionate. Like, just an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You're so passionate about everything. Like, it's not just like, this is coffee. No, it's like the best coffee I've ever had. And
Yeah.
it's got like cream and chocolate and, and it's like, okay, to relax. It's a coffee. It's a coffee to me. But anyway, like, so you have your hand in a lot of different things. If you can choose just one and go with that, I know this is hard because I also have my hand in a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take that nasty, okay? But which one would you choose? It's
like
hard,
what,
right?
what career?
Yeah, which would you write? Would you direct? Would you? Yes.
It would be directing, even like because that's what I focused on ever since I graduated high school. I
Okay.
like, how am I going to direct a movie? I just find it like so awesome that somebody could. It's like you're making believe. It's make believe with
Yeah.
with your friends, and you're just trying to create this fantasy. And then when it works, it's so wonderful because it's like, wow, they didn't know that we were holding the scene together by tape board and
I
like,
know.
you know what I mean, like the
Make it so effortless.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then I just love directing the visual meme of storytelling. That's where it attracts me.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I started writing is because I didn't have a partner. I didn't have, who am I going to hire? I don't have money to pay a writer. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to write my own stories. I'm going to develop my voice, my skill set in writing and storytelling, so I could direct the movie. Because I knew if I was going into film, the script is fluid. It's not like concrete. If your script is that's what it is, your movie's going to feel so stiff. You have to
Right.
work with what's going on, be fluid when you're making a movie. Then that's why with writing the Late Hour series was challenging because I wasn't screenwriting anymore. I was now writing literature, writing like a narrative,
Yeah.
With prose and descriptions and, and like as if, it's just like it's another beast and I didn't know if I was doing it right,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what people, that's what hold people back. Am I doing it right? How do I do it?
Yeah.
You just write.
Yeah.
I was having that conversation with somebody this morning. I want to write a story. Oh, just write. Well, how do I do it? You just start writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, well, how? And I was like, well, you just choose one little thing,
Mm-hmm.
one simple thing that changed your life. Why do you want to write about it? What did you learn from it? Where would you like to see it go? What would you change about it? What did you take away from it? And write it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One event. Because if you start saying, I want to write about my life, yeah, everybody wants to write about their life. But that's going to be forever, and it never ends.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? And then it's just so overwhelming. You don't want to even start.
And I completely understand. Like for this volume 2, I was writing for about I would say 6 months for the third story that's in that book.
Okay.
I actually had to erase it and start all over again, even though it took me 6 months to get to 15 pages. I'm like, what? Like, this isn't working. I have to start all over again. And I figured out why, because I was doing information dump.
Oh,
It was just
got
information
it.
dumps. Like,
Yes.
it's not vibing. It's like, and I was glad that I was able to spot it. So I started over, and I began with an action. My main character is bitter watching a Christmas party, and then from there I inject the background information instead of the background information and starting. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I figured that out, and that's all. Again, just sitting down and figuring out what works, and just admitting to yourself when something doesn't work, and then
Yes.
starting all over again.
Right.
Don't worry about your ego. You know, don't stroke your ego. Just get the story out. The story is what's important.
Right. And it's not perfection.
Yeah.
Nothing is perfection. You know what I mean? It's like,
It takes time, and
takes
time is
time.
okay.
and also like sometimes walk away from it and come back, and then
100%.
also hand it off to somebody to read it, even, you know. But that to me is hard sometimes, you know. But I've also found that like sometimes I just don't even look back at it until like, you know, we're like producing it or something, and it's on stage, and I'm like, wow, okay, I wrote that, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, those
Yeah.
are my lines.
I know, I know. But I also love other people's vision of what I wrote.
Yeah.
Like if they can really see what I wrote, you know, like if they can really get the concept of what I'm writing, like that is, I'm like, okay, and it made sense. Yeah, that was the hardest part when I first wrote my first play. I was like, does it make sense? Like, is people going to understand it?
Yeah.
Like, what is it, you know? But then, you know, you're just like, yeah, I love it. And that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's somebody will like your stuff. There's
Yeah,
always somebody.
There's always somebody.
And of course,
that
there's
is a
somebody who's
fan.
going to troll you, and that's
Oh
okay.
my
You know what I mean?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And like, you have to have a thick skin to be an artist.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah. And it's
Absolutely.
like, because people have different visions and different ways to do what you wrote or you did. You know, it's like, I would have done that. I would have done this. Like, well, maybe you should do it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know, well, thank you,
yeah,
but
thanks. No,
yeah, I know,
yeah.
exactly. It's hard. It is hard, but when you have a passion, it's hard not to. You have to just do it, you know? Like, I started writing as a kid, like, tiny, and I would, like, write plays for the neighborhood and charge, you know, people to come see them,
Yeah.
you know, and then I'd direct them, and I'd be like,
That's
no, you're
cool.
this, you're that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is what I need to do, that. And radio. Like I was telling you, radio was also another thing that I was
You
like,
have a great
I
radio
need to
voice.
do. Thank you.
reals, yeah.
Thank you. I have a great radio face too.
You're beautiful.
That's what they say. No, but yeah, and you know, for me, I try to take things, you know, projects that I'm doing and concentrate on that and not be, you know, for a while I was like, yes, I'll do that, and it's all different things, like produce, I'll direct, I'll write, and I was like, you know what, I can't do them all because I'm not giving 100% to one thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, I want to learn this radio stuff. I really want to learn how to do it, and I really want to do it well, you know? So that's why I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to focus on right now, you know?
I completely understand, man, because, like,
Yeah.
when I was editing Answers, they were asking me, my producer, Brian, was like, are you going to edit it? It's like, yes, I'm going to edit it. And I had, I was editing before, like, just, like, making little dopey videos with a ventriloquist dummy I have called Billy. You can follow him on Billy and Pals on TikTok. But that's where I started. Like, I started figuring out how to use DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
Doing these dopey puppet videos.
Yeah.
And then when I got into Answers, I figured out how to edit, and I also figured out how to color the movie. And people were asking, like, I love the color. Who colored it? It's like, I did. It's like, you did that? I was like, yeah, I just, you know, YouTube Academy, man. You just, like, if you're passionate and you want to learn about it, you'll figure out a way how to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. And not like give up until, you know, there's people that have that mind that is like, I'm going to learn and I'm going to do it and I'm not going to stop until I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's passion
Yeah.
right there.
And it takes
That's
such a long time.
It does. It does take a long time, but you know, there's something inside you that says, "Don't give up."
Yeah.
You know, just keep going. And I mean, don't get me wrong. We give up 1,000 times
Oh,
a day,
100%.
and then we're like, "Nah, it's gonna be crazy." Or if I don't, you know,
You know what
if I
trips
don't
me out
continue.
is that recently I'm like when I hit my 40s, I'm like, damn, I'm 40 years old and I'm still pursuing this directing thing. I'm like, I'm really in it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, either I'm crazy or you know I'm really passionate. Like I'm in it. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to work for corporate America because I worked for corporate for 10 years and
Mm-hmm.
writing those emails, man. Like per my last email, do you know? It's like, I can't do that for another 30 years. I want to I want to be an artist. I want to direct, tell stories. You know.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Yeah.
have you thought of a production company? Do you have your
Well,
own?
I do. It's called Weinstein Entertainment. It's
Okay.
a nickname I got in high school
I love
because
it.
it was a night of heavy drinking and smoking. And some guys, like, as I was throwing up, like, you have a nickname? Like, no, we're gonna call you Weinstone. So I was throwing a little pole over my shoes. Yeah. So ever since then, Weinstein Entertainment.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love that. I was like, I need to ask him about this.
Yeah.
What is it? Because it's wine stone. I'm like, okay, I think I know where he's going with this. But so is this the last volume?
That is the last volume. There's one more volume, volume 4.
Ah.
And the volume 4 is about deputy sheriff and is the last beat in Norwalk. And
Okay.
he's tried to stop a gang warfare happening in the one-ways.
Uh-huh.
And then the last the last story is called Margaret Sales Flies Home. And it's a story about a woman who flies back to Norwalk to be with her dying dad.
Oh.
And it's like she's reminiscing all the times she lived in Norwalk, and she doesn't know if she was gonna move back to Norwalk. And you know, she has a sister taking care of the dad and the home that they grew up with.
Okay.
And there's a blackout which ties into the deputy sheriff. So yeah, that's the last. Volume 4 is gonna be
It's
out
going to be
by
completely last.
yeah, that's
Okay.
the last one. And
You're already working on that one?
no, because it took me 7 years to get part 3 out.
Well,
and,
here we go.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
now we're all waiting.
Yeah.
We're all going to wait. So now you got to do it.
before the end of the decade.
See, we're all going to wait.
yeah.
We all want to pre-order it. So you better get on it.
Oh, I'm not going to be like George R. R. Martin. You know, like, when's the last book going to come
Yeah,
out?
I
Like,
know.
I don't know. I'm going to dick around somewhere.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm going to go get some experience and then I'll come back.
yeah, exactly.
Now, do all these books tie in together, and how do they? If someone hasn't read them yet.
Well, they do tie in together, although part 3, Confessions, it's a standalone novel. However, if you do read volume 1 and 2 and then also read volume 4, there are Easter eggs in part 3. But it doesn't throw the whole story away. If you never read any of the volume 1 or 2, it's its own standalone thing. But if you read everything together, it feels good. It feels like you're really in that universe that I created for you, you know?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, because in part 3, the deputy sheriff of the next volume shows up because he was there in the motorcycle accident that my main character's boyfriend died in.
Okay.
And he felt so touched or horrified by the accident that he felt obligated to attend the funeral. So so it's kind of like, and that sheriff comes out and like in my other stories too. So I'm kind of like working it up.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's you know, when I was writing Confessions, there was moments where I started crying because I felt like so touched by the scene, you know. And I'm like, I hope I'm able to tap into the reader, my audience, the same emotions that I was keeping in for such a long time. Because when I created the whole narrative of Confessions, it was like damn, like where did that story come from? Like it was kind of like pulling these ideas out of the ether. I'm like, how did I tie all these things together? And you know, people, I wrote it. My main character starts talking about 1998 to 2002, his high school years. Those are my high school years, and Columbine happened, Matthew Shepard happened, 9/11 happened, and I tied those elements in the book as well.
Ooh.
And and it's just it's kind of like a time
Heavy.
capsule.
Those are heavy.
Yeah, they
heavy
are.
things.
Yeah,
Yes.
but there's some lightheartedness in like, you know, in my story with my main character's best friends. They provide
I love
that
that.
heart
Yeah.
of the story, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a community. They have like a little tight knit. You can tell how much they hang out with each other, and you know what I mean. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Awesome. So, will you read a little bit from from
Oh,
your
yeah, for
book
sure.
for those of you
I'm
that
glad
are
I'm-
wondering.
I was wondering,
This
like,
book is like amazing.
thank you, I appreciate it,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I bookmarked it because I'm like, all right, I got the last one.
Yes, do it. Give us
see.
some literature.
Let's look at it.
I love that it's confessions, not on the dance floor,
Yeah.
but confessions.
On
All
the
right,
down
let's
low.
go. Okay, yeah, I know on the down low.
Yeah. So this part where I'm going to read just to give the audience an understanding what's happening. My main character, his friend wants him to go to the movies, and he's never been asked to go to the movies, and he knows he can't go because his mom is super, uptight. She just wants to lock him, and keep him at home. So this is where we're at. We're at high school, and then Gus is pressuring him to go to the movies with him.
All righty.
Okay, that's not a good idea, Gus. Hold on, let me start back. That's not a good idea, Gus, I shot back. Relentless, Gus kept pushing it. I'll just call once. If your mom picks up, I swear I'll hang up. I shook my head, feeling a little annoyed. No, dude. When Gus saw I wasn't going to give in, he tore a page from his notebook, scribbled his number, and handed it to me like it was a life or death mission. If she says yes, call before 1. The movie starts at 2. Deal? I stared at the paper. No one had ever given me their number before. No one had ever asked me to hang out either. Part of me wanted it to hide away and forget about it, saving myself from the awkward conversation I knew I'd face at home. But someone was actually reaching out, and I didn't want him to think I wasn't interested. So I slid the note into my backpack pocket and said, I'll think about it. Later that evening, as I helped my mom set up folding chairs for the community prayer night, I kept rehearsing what I'll say. Just a movie, just a friend, I told myself, trying to make it sound harmless enough. When she turned to arrange the paper plates on the food table, I finally asked if I could go. Her answer came exactly as I expected. No, my mom said, swatting the idea away like a fly. He wants me to go, Mom, I begged. Who does? My friend Gus. Why don't you invite them here? She asked, spreading her arms as if she were unveiling a grand palace. The rec room was anything but. Brown walls, dusty corners, and a threadbare green carpet so thin that you could feel the concrete beneath your shoes. Mom, I sighed, they want to go to the movies. Hollywood movies are liberal poison, no. But I said no, she snapped, pouring decaf into the coffee maker with quick, irritated movements. Go find Pastor Joe, she commanded, dismissing me. I'll finish up here. So much for catching her in a good mood. Back at home, I showered, changed, and lay in bed. Sleep refused to come. My mind kept circling the same thought, hoping Gus wouldn't be upset that I hadn't gone to the movies. Then I remembered Crystal's Walkman and Gus's tapes buried in the bottom pocket of my backpack. I slipped out of bed, crouched by the bag, slowly unzipping it like I was defusing a bomb. The house was silent, but silence didn't mean my mom was asleep. I kept one eye on the door as I carefully took out the bulky yellow Walkman. In bed, I took out the dead batteries and replaced them with the fresh ones from my bedside clock. I put them into the Walkman, slipped on the earbuds, and pressed play. Heavy metal blasted in my ears. I jerked upright, heart pounding, and scrambled to turn down the volume. When the ringing in my ears finally stopped, I looked at the sliver of light under the door, waiting to see if my mom had heard it. Nothing, no movement, no shadow. The coast was clear. I eased in once more, keeping the volume low enough not to rupture my eardrums, trying to get into the music, but it wasn't my style. Too much screaming, but by the third click, my head was pounding. I hit stop and switched to one of Gus's tapes. I wasn't expecting much, but when I pressed play, the clunky click of a record button came first, followed by a chipmunk voice, DJ easing back to normal speed. Some Foo Fighters here on KROQ, he said. Then the guitar hit, raw, alive, electric. The song was Everlong. I don't know how else to explain it, but for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel so alone. My head, my foot, my pulse, all moving instinctively. I played it 4 times before finally letting the tape roll on. That night, I discovered 2 things, music and Gus. His playlist was chaos in the best way, no order or logic, just bursts of life from the radio. Grunge, pop, hip-hop, and R&B, and a woman wondering where have all the cowboys had gone. It was wild, restless, him, and somehow now part of my world. And that's a little part of
Aw,
Confessions.
That's so cute. I love that. You need to get the book to figure out where this goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's such a wild
If
ride.
you like
I love
90s
that.
stuff, all that
Yes.
pop culture's
I mean,
there.
yeah, it drew me in with all that, and I love the Foo Fighters Everlong, the acoustic version. I love it.
What's awesome is that in my book, the
Uh-huh.
final introduction to music to my main character is Rock en Español.
Ah,
And that has a very big impact on adult Ray. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, this book again. If you like the '90s music, it draws you in. It did with me. I love music, period. So, but we're already like halfway through, so we're gonna take a little break, and we're gonna play your song that you
yeah.
sent me.
Yes.
This is Maps by Star. We
Yeah,
can't say
you
this
guys say it
name,
live.
but here we go, Maps, and we'll be right back with Christian Ramirez. that is an intense song. I know I asked you to like send me music that inspires you, but I mean, I don't even think I need to ask you why. That song is like intense.
It's dope. It like when I listen to that song, it helped me because when I create stories, I see them as movie trailers. And when the song came up, I just sat back and against my chair, and then the whole movie just clicked. Not the movie, the confessions just clicked. Like, this is what the story is. These are the images that I need to get to. This is the feel, the taste, the
so
flavor
amazing. Yeah.
of the story. You know.
And you can, I mean, now that I read it and I heard this song, I'm like, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can definitely see it. And so it inspired you. Did you play it over and over?
Yeah,
Or were
I
you
burned
just
it
like-
out with many other songs.
Yeah.
And the thing about, I don't know if it's like with you, Cinnamon, where like you just listen to the song over and over and over again, and still not you're not burnt out. Like you listen to the
Right,
track over, like
yes.
I wouldn't even exaggerate, like 40 times in just in one session, just trying to get that feeling, that emotion, like what and how to describe it. But I would write with music in the background, but now recently I just been writing with silence, just me and my thoughts,
Oh, wow.
just trying to write it, because I felt like when there's a song that's like that I'm vibing with, I just stop writing and start fantasizing on other projects.
Yeah.
You know,
I can write this music video. I can do this video.
Yeah. So I'm like,
know.
no, I need to focus because.
And how's that working?
distract-
Because I haven't gotten there yet. Well, yeah, I have. I mean, quietly, but I know what you mean about a song, though. I mean, you just keep playing it, and it comes up different every time. That's
Yeah.
why you just keep playing it, because you're like, it hits different every time you play it. How does the silence work? How's it working for you? Is it?
Well, it's
Do you prefer it, or do you want more?
You know
music
what? I
around?
think when I'm writing the draft, I prefer music.
Okay.
However, when I'm editing, which I was editing a lot, the novel Confessions, I did it in silence because I needed to edit. I needed to read the paragraph over and over again, make sure that it doesn't read clunky, that it makes sense, it's not repetitive. So I really needed to be focused. But when you're free writing, when you're just writing that first draft, yeah, man, play music, make it loud, just fucking get into it like you're like a rocker, rock star, and you're drumming,
Yeah.
and that's what it is when you're writing. It's you write with your feelings, and then when you edit with your brain. You know what I mean? Yeah.
One of the people, and I always say this, one of the people that the artist that I listen to when I get inspired is Natalie Merchant. She will take me different places, and like I said, if you hear a song, like a lot of her albums go from A to B to C and then back to A. Like, it's never just a straight line of the same music. It's all different, and every song has a different story.
Yeah.
And the way she describes something is just, it's just so perfect, and then she could take love and disaster and put it together in some way, and it just inspires me to write, because I'm like, God, if she can get that passionate about something. And also Kate Bush is very passionate about stuff too, and those are people who really inspire me to write.
Yeah, they could paint a picture like in 4 minutes, and they make you feel in 4 minutes. I'm like, damn, that's an incredible talent. That's something I wish in my next life. I want to. I want to be an artist. Like I'm not artist. Like I want to play piano. Know how to play guitar. I just can't. I can't figure it out. I get too. I just get frustrated when it doesn't click. So I want to be a musician in my next life.
I get it.
Yeah.
I want to be a musician in this life. I want to be everything I can in this life,
Si se puede.
Yeah, exactly, right? All right, so let's get into some personal stuff. Let's talk about, okay, so are you in a relationship right now? I know you're a gay man, and it's rough, I know the whole, relationship and gayhood.
Yeah, I completely understand. I'm on TikTok, and all these 20-year-olds are just complaining how they just can't date a guy because like they ghost them,
Yeah.
And I've been in a relationship with John about 16 or 17 years, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and we met in 2009, I believe.
Wow.
No, 2010. And then we've been together. I mean, obviously we live together, and we've been through thick and thin, and we've been through like three presidential like 3 presidents, you know,
Together,
disasters, high and
Uh-huh.
lows, and you know, fights and makeups and everything. And actually, if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm in a polyamorous relationship.
Oh wow.
So I have another partner named Alex,
Okay.
and we've been together with Alex for we're 10 years in November.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we're pretty long term, you
Mhm.
know, and so it's the 3 of us. We live at my mom's house because John and me both got laid off the same summer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I got laid off first, and then 3 weeks in, I was writing. I'm like, wow, this is great. And then he comes home with his box full of office supplies. I'm like, no, don't tell me I got laid off. No, mom. But my mom's been super supportive.
Love
She
it.
she lets she makes us breakfast and she
Oh,
makes us
awesome.
dinner.
Okay.
And I love my mom, and she's never made me feel like uncomfortable with having 2 partners at home.
Yeah,
2 male
that's
partners.
different.
Yeah, I know
That
it is different.
Yeah, that's one to be gay and then to have
Yeah, another boyfriend, another
Yeah,
partner.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it's so kudos to my mom.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah.
amazing.
And yeah, we've been together. We just got back from Dana Point yesterday. It was like a mini vacation. We all went together because I had a book fair yesterday at Books and Blossom in Dana
Uh-huh.
Point.
Oh,
And
awesome.
it went great. It went fantastic.
I
I was
love
the
it.
only male
Oh yeah.
gay author there. Everywhere else was like white chicks. But it was great. I had a good turnout. Most of the crowd, they were searching for romance novels, fantasy romance novels.
Okay.
But for the people who weren't looking for that, they came to my table, and I had a
love
pretty
that.
good time.
I love
And
it.
yeah, and then you know what's great about my relationship with John and Alex is that I have 2 families now. They're
Mhm.
I'm been with John and their family. They're my family, and then now Alex, they're my family too. And
I love it.
I'm with the dad, and talk to the mom. We have dinner together, and
All accepting?
yeah, they're all accepting.
Oh.
Although I would say the dad doesn't really talk about it, but
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been super
They've
chill.
all met each other. Everybody. like-
Exactly. They offered me like the dad, Alex's dad, offers me like beer every time I come over, and
Whinstone.
Whinstone, exactly. And yeah, we just it's just trippy to be in that relationship because I never
Yeah.
thought I'll be like in a thruple,
Uh-huh.
but things just happen, and we're living together very happily. And it's difficult because one person wants pizza, the one wants Thai.
So it's just normal stuff.
No more
normal.
stuff, just more.
What about when you get in a fight? Do you all get in a fight at once, or
Sometimes,
one or the other? You're like, I'm not talking to you, Alex. Or,
Yeah, I mean, because to say
you know.
that doesn't happen would
Okay.
be a bull-faced lie.
Yeah, because
yeah.
the audience wants to know, like,
Because it's hard
how
enough to
does it
live
go?
with one person.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're doing their own thing,
Mhm.
and you have, you want to do your own
Uh-huh.
thing. Like, that's not right. We need that fan off. It's too
I know,
cold.
right?
Yeah.
What
it's
about?
just,
Okay, I'm gonna get deep. What about the bedroom?
well, yeah. I mean,
Without
like,
saying too much, let's say.
yeah, because PG-13. Right?
Yes, PG-13.
Well,
but-
it's okay to, I guess, the bedroom situation. It's we've been together for such a long time. It's okay if, I guess, how can I say this, like, for a Sunday afternoon, It's like,
Okay,
it's
okay.
okay for the other person to be with the other person while the other one is,
Oh, so
at a radio
all-
show.
Okay, I know, right?
You
So
know what I mean?
all
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
like-
yeah. It doesn't have to be
so
all
it's not
together
just
at
like
the same time.
you and Alex have your own thing.
Yeah.
It's you, John, and Alex have everything.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
well, yeah, like we go to the movies together. We go
What,
eat together.
What if they're like, you know what? Christian, I just want to be with Alex tonight.
No, it's not like that.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Like when it comes to like entertainment, hanging out, that's all together,
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if somebody is leaving somewhere for like a family trip or
Uh-huh.
something, and then it's okay for us to have a date together because obviously the other person is doing something that they're they're doing something that they need to
Right.
do.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
mean the other person just can't just stay home and just be just watching TV for X amount of hours. So it's okay for the other person to go on a date or go to the movies.
Okay, so you still
yeah.
can date other people as well.
No, because we're locked
You're
in.
solid 3.
Yeah, we're solid three.
So
Yeah.
there's no dating
No,
outside of the
no,
third.
exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's no fourth or
No.
like playtime like that.
No.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But
Basically, it's like having like a relationship, but with another person.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But it's like, okay, so who's cooking tonight? Or
Well, it's usually like I usually like to cook because I like to take control. So I'm like, no, I think you should do it like this. But like, it's either Alex, each of us have cooked before.
Okay.
Yeah, Alex, he's the on the phone more, so he sees all these recipes online, so he tries them out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I cook, so we take turns. Sometimes we just don't want to cook, and we just go have dinner together.
Love it.
I like every other couple.
Yeah.
And like the dishes, those are hard. Just like like the domestic stuff. It's like, okay,
Is
it's
there
like,
like cuddle time with
Yeah.
all three?
yeah, like
Okay.
like the end of the night,
I love it.
the end of the work day. We all, because when I was making answers, like they miss me. It's like, I can't, like, when are you coming home? It's like, I'm making a movie, babe, because we were shooting in the middle of the night. So we get done like I would be home like around 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock, completely exhausted. So when finally take a shower, go to bed, they finally feel me, and then we all like
Okay.
spoon
Okay.
together.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. Like, everybody has their things. That's amazing. And how do they feel about your projects? Do they
They're very
support?
supportive. They're
Okay.
very
All right.
supportive. Like
Awesome.
every time I do stuff, they actually like doing it because it takes them from the norm. And
Yeah.
they're helping me set up my tables and
Oh, that's cute.
watching my table when I'm doing like a book reading or if I need to use the restroom, which I always do.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they're so they're really supportive, and I think the only complaint would be that that I'm always leaving to do stuff. They want me to be with them all the time.
Uh-huh. Oh,
know?
man. Okay.
So I don't know how that's going to work when I'm actually making feature films,
Oh.
because I'm always going to be gone. But I'm always going to come home. So
Aw. That's cute. I like this. That's
thank you.
it's love.
Yeah.
Love is love, like
Yeah.
they say, right?
yeah,
And support.
and it's awesome when you get sick because you have two people taking care of you.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know too. So tell me about really quick. We have like 5 minutes. Tell me about the coming out. How was your coming out?
Well, when I came out, this is a long story for 5 minutes, but I'll make it. I'll give you the cliff notes. Well, I came out in the 10th grade, not because I was I had all this courage and I told my mom, I'm gay. No, I came out of school. I got out of school and my mom picked me up, and then she told me she found my personal magazines under my bed. And
Okay.
she confronted me, and I told her I was gay. So that's how she found out, because Mexican moms love to clean, and she found my stuff, and then we confronted it, and that's how I came out. I've been out to my family since I was 16 years old. So it was a very not traumatic, but drama-filled day, because this was like in 1999, and yeah, it's just my dad came in my room. He's like, "Did you know your son was gay?" He's like, "Well, I had a feeling," and it's always, I didn't take offense because my dad was a truck driver, so he's always like working in the yard and getting greasy and dirty.
Yeah.
And I would rather be in the kitchen. And I'm like, "Can I just make you a sandwich, Dad?" I'm like, I'll do that instead. Not saying that it's the gay stereotype, but for me, I mean, like I would rather stay inside the household and clean. But so my dad had a feeling, and my brothers, they took it pretty easy, but it got really better. It got better as I got older. It's like just like whatever, I'm so fortunate that my family is supportive of me being gay.
I love
and just having two families. It's like
And
I think about it in the middle of the night. It's like I'm a lucky son of a gun that I have people that love me, that support me.
Yes.
I'm like, it's like some people are living on the down low. They're so scared
Yes.
to like even admit they like pizza or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like
yeah.
they like hamburgers. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I'm so fortunate that I get to be myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you have a whole lot of love around you, and you have awesome projects that you're working on. Tell us about the projects before we go, and where we can find them and find you.
Well,
and
you could
all that good stuff.
if you want to purchase the Late Hour series, it's on Amazon under the Late Hour stories for the Insomniac, and
Okay.
they'll pop up 1, 2, and 3
Uh-huh.
all separately, and you can find me on Goodreads under Chris DeSalvo, and you can also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, the Late Hour Stories. It's all together. You have to add the Late Hour Stories all together, and
Okay.
then I'll pop up, and you can follow my journey hustling my novels and my work.
I love it.
Yeah.
And
And,
what about film? Can we
Film stuff,
any
absolutely.
kind of film?
Yeah, and if you want to watch my work, go to my YouTube channel under Content Chris 83,
Uh-huh.
and you can follow me there. And I have my short film from film school, some short films that I made like in 2010, and my recent work. And eventually, I'll have a link for Answers, my last project that I directed last year, the one that won the Best Suspense at the Old Town Film Festival. That'll eventually be eventually be up online. But right now, you can follow me on YouTube, Content Chris 83, and on TikTok, Content Chris
I
83.
love it. All right, so you hear it here first. And I mean, he's got some amazing projects coming. Thank you, Christian, for
Thank you
coming.
for having me. I really appreciate
And
it.
I need you to come back, of course, when you write that next film or next
Will
book.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, and just come hang out. Come hang out whenever.
Thank you so much.
And like I said, I'm gonna start doing a call for submissions for my own anthology. I'm putting out an anthology with Pen and Purpose Publishing Company, and look for that call of submission on my Instagram, which is RIV Cinnamon or Tea Time with Cinnamon, and you can or Pen and Purpose. They're gonna have the call for submissions, and it's called Queer Rights. That's the anthology name, and it's going to be love stories, like your first
Nice.
love, your first crush, things like that. I like feel good stuff. You know what I mean? And then so look out for that call for submissions. Also, I do have my book, my own personal. Well, it's not a personal, but also with Pen and Purpose. It's my book is out, El Gato de Cinco with Cinco Patas. And that is out now. And the story that I have in there is called I Am My Father's Child. And yeah, you can DM me if you want a copy of that. I will sign for you. But for now, one of the really things I really love to do is get new music. So one of the new music is by one of my favorite indie artists, Sancha. Have you heard of Sancha?
I haven't.
Sancha is amazing. She's a ranchera punk rocker. And you need to listen because she is just, I mean, yeah, and an amazing person as well. And her stage presence is so amazing. So this song is called, which one is it that I wanted to, Tú tienes la culpa. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next Sunday at 12 noon. I got another great show for you. Tea Time with Cinnamon, KLBP 99.1. Again, this is Sancha, Tú tienes la culpa, and her new album is out on Bandcamp.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
The Late Hour Series.
Late Hour Series with Christian Ramirez, a.k.a.
Chris DeSalvo.
Chris DeSalvo. This is Sancha, everyone.